owner of the Carolina
has gotten into that position as a head coach where he's easy to fire.
Yeah.
And it kind of stinks because I'm with you, Rich. I think
In
he's
there.
a really good head coach, but he's unfortunately been a part of some teams that are in the stage of the franchise where they're trying to rebuild and get better, and it's hasn't gone well for him being that rebuild guy. It's possible that Frank Reich is just really good coach when he has really good players.
Absolutely. Look, there are times where a chef is made by his ingredients, and then there are times where, it doesn't matter the ingredients. If you can cook, you can cook. So you show up at the kitchen, you throw together a stew with leftovers, and all of a sudden people go, oh, this is delicious. How do you do this? And honestly, that's sort of what it feels like D'Amico Ryans is doing right now in Houston with the Texans. Frank Reich needs to tear a page out of that book and get things going in Carolina. Okay, joining us right now is one of our warriors here at the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station. Again, if you want to help an injured or ill servicemen and women get home for the holiday season, 619-578-2615 is the number to dial right now. This is an awesome cause. The Warrior Foundation does year-round support for our military here in San Diego. And joining us is Dana Cisneros. This is a pleasure to meet you or see you again. Actually, we did this last year, Dana.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing great, actually. Everything's working out really well.
Yeah. So we're here at the Freedom Station. How often do you come out here?
So I actually lived here until just recently. I just recently retired and moved out of Freedom Station.
So you have this post-military life transitional support, right, with the Freedom Station offers, where you leave the military and there's this feeling of like, okay, well, what now, right? Like, where do I go from here? And a lot of those answers are very difficult to come up. People go, well, oh, of course, you're military. Like, you're just going to go find a job and it's going to be great. But it's not always that easy.
It's not. It's really not that easy at all. I mean, I have been on the job search since June, and I still am not hired anywhere yet. And it's not because I don't have a good resume. It's because it's just hard right now to find jobs.
Yeah.
But Freedom Station has been, beyond helpful with all that. They helped me out with a place to stay. They got me back on my feet. I was in a wheelchair for a very long time, and now I'm finally back up on both feet. So it's been awesome being a part of this foundation.
How long were you in the military, Dan?
I was in the military for just shy of 18 years.
And 18 years, you were in there a little bit,
just a little bit.
Yeah. And then you got injured.
Yes, sir.
What can we talk about the injury? You okay with that?
Sure. I broke my foot, and it was supposed to be a simple, your foot's broken, we'll throw you in a cast for a few months, and then we'll send you on your way. You'll go back to work, you'll do everything you need to do. Well, didn't work out that way for me. I ended up with a rare issue called complex regional pain syndrome. So my foot exploded to about 3 times its normal size. It was painful. Couldn't wear socks, couldn't wear shoes, anything like that. Tried to salvage my limb for about a year and a half, almost 2 years. And then the doctor was like, what do you want to do? You can live with it, or we can take it. And taking my right leg was the most viable option for me because I was in so much pain that I couldn't function.
Wow. They take your right leg. At that point, are you out of the military? You need a place to stay. You come to the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station, and Sandy here, Sandy Limcooler, who heads this beautiful program up, she helps you out?
Well, I was actually still active duty.
Okay.
When my leg got taken, I was living in a place that was 2-story. I had nowhere to go. And nowhere to go that was a single story. They offered me a temporary stay here at the Freedom Station, allowing me to heal from my wounds and be able to get around, because I wasn't able to get around at all. I mean, I had a 24/7 care with me during that time, and they let me stay here for the 2 months that I was trying to figure it out. And then when I found out I had to have subsequent surgeries, that's when they said, hey, we have an empty cottage. Why don't you move in?
Wow.
Dana, we're out here today just obviously asking people to call 619-578-2615 to donate to the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station. If you can make a pitch to our listeners, because we've seen it year after year, how their heart opens up for stuff like this. What did they do for you, not just physically, but mentally?
I was in a very dark place before I moved into Freedom Station. This place gave me a home. It gave me a family outside of my own family. it allowed me to grow and move beyond my injury and deal with my injury in a way that I could be around everybody else and not be a recluse like I was right after my surgery. I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to see anybody, but this place opened me up to be able to do things like this and to be able to have healthy, meaningful relationships with those around me.
It's amazing to hear these stories because, I mean, in a very small way, I can relate. When you go through injuries, I played for years playing football. You know, you get hurt, you have surgeries, and you wake up from the surgery, and everybody just thinks, oh, it's normal Dana, it's normal Rich. But it doesn't feel that way. You're a little bit different because you realize, like, oh, I can't do some of the things that I used to be able to do. And there's a recovery process and there's rehab and then the mental strain of getting over it. I'm speaking from somebody who's fortunate enough to have all my limbs. When you wake up missing a leg, what is that like? What is that feeling like?
I mean, I was able to quote unquote prepare for my surgery, but no amount of time prior to having that surgery could have prepared me for losing that limb. I mean, I thought I was ready. I thought it was going to be okay. I know what I'm getting into. I had no idea what I was getting into. When I woke up and my leg wasn't there and I was in severe pain again,
Yeah.
I was just, why did I do this?
Right.
And it ended up being the best thing for me. It worked out well, but it's something that you can't begin to process until you're already there, until that leg is gone. You can't process that injury.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are broadcasting live from the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station number 2. It's the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station Giveathon. We're asking you to call 619-578-2615 to donate or go to warriorfoundation.org. Dana Cisneros. Dana, I mean, talk about the community here. When you stayed here at Freedom Station, what does it feel like to live here?
Oh, living here is like, it's like being with family. It's like moving back home and being with your family all over again. I would come outside in the evenings and we have a nice little fire pit out here. I'd sit down and next thing you know, we're all out here having a family gathering around the fire pit, just having conversation, giving each other the love and support that we need and just being what family should be.
Yeah. And I mean, I would say just that feeling alone is part of the healing process, right?
Oh, beyond part. It's most of the healing process. Physical wounds heal, but the mental and the emotional wounds are what we have to work together to get through.
Dana, we should have led with this, but we thank you for your service.
Yeah.
I mean, your sacrifice for this country is, I mean, it's unquestioned, and we appreciate you so much. We appreciate you sharing some thoughts here about the Freedom Station here, number 2, and the Warrior Foundation overall. I mean, this program is it's exceptional. Transitional housing, like Dana went through, the wellness programs, outdoor therapy, treating PTSD, the traumatic brain injuries that can occur from concussion blasts, cancer support, and so much more. If you want to donate today, and we suggest you should, again, the number is 619-578-2615, warriorfoundation.org. And Dana, thank you again this year for joining us. We'll see you in another year.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you bet.
All
right. Pleasure.
Wow.
Thank you, Dana.
I mean, these are the stories you're going to continue to hear all morning long, all day long here as the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station Giveathon continues. And I mean, they're heartwarming, they're touching. You want to help out, which is what it's all about. It's the holidays, man. It's the holidays. And I mean, it's not just helping out Warrior Foundation Freedom Station. We want to send our warriors, our troops, home for the holidays.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big deal. So anything you can do, anything. I mean, $1, it goes a long way. 619-578-2615. Call now.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. They have it set up like Santa's workshop over there. We have the elves answering the phone lines, and they've been ringing all morning. So
we need more cowbell.
Yeah, we need more cowbell.
They ring a cowbell every time they get a donation.
I got a fever.
Forgot about that.
And the only prescription is more
cowbell.
We need to take another lap. We're gonna log them. We're gonna log them.
That's 2 laps.
We've only been on the air for less than 20 minutes.
I parked several blocks away. Does that count as
cowbell?
There we got
cowbell. We got ourselves a donation.
That's what I'm
Thank you
talking
to
about.
whoever just dialed in.
Yep.
It's going to be a busy day on those cowbells because we know how generous San Diego is. We did this a year ago. So again, 619-578-2615 if you want to donate to the Warrior Foundation today. So yeah, listen, prime time this season has been a little bit of an issue for a couple of reasons in the NFL. One of the biggest issues is the slow pace that offenses seem to be, I guess the word is congealing, coalescing.
Mhm.
We're not seeing as consistent offense. And part of the reason is because of exactly what we're talking about with Justin Fields. There's been a lot of injuries at quarterback.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of injuries all over offenses. I mean, look, the 49ers with Debo out. All of a sudden, that offense, hits the brakes.
Purdy got the concussion.
Yeah, and Purdy, gets concussed, which Ben Fletch called out
Yeah,
here.
he did.
I mean,
You saw it.
And
You
you
heard it
all
here
made fun
first.
of me.
I still will make fun of him.
Yeah.
I
deserve it.
absolutely. Yeah.
Or I mean, just how many teams have we talked about? The Eagles,
No,
the
Tannehill
Chiefs.
has
Yeah.
an injury. Our Titans with Tannehill, he's out. Stafford, he's out.
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson has been out for a while now for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, but don't you think that
Kirk Cousins out.
the Titans are like, yeah, just stay hurt, Ryan?
Well, Will Levis has now been announced as a starter for the rest of the season. Like he is
Wow.
taking over for Tannehill. So it doesn't matter when he gets back. It looks like Levis is the guy moving forward. But yeah, there's been a lot of new at quarterback, and we know that's the most important position in football, obviously in sports. And so it's had a tangent effect at very least on how exciting these games are. And poor Al Michaels on Thursday Night Football, he has gotten probably the worst draw of the bunch for the past season and a half now. And so we'll see what this one looks like, but not a great deal of juice with Panthers, Bears, outside of, again, seeing Bryce Young in prime time, seeing how he responds to that. I'm very curious to see if he actually has the goods or if he's not going to pan out, because so far CJ Stroud breaking rookie records out there in Houston as a second overall pick. Bryce Young has not had anything nearing or resembling a season like Stroud's.
No. And Bryce Young has had moments of like, hey, you know what? I can see some goodness. I don't know if I'd say greatness yet, but you can see that he has some decent moments. But CJ Stroud has just been on another level, and on a team that shouldn't be doing well at all. They've been contenders almost every game.
Yeah, no, they absolutely have. And then you look at Carolina, outside of the win over the Houston Texans, oddly, is the only place so far that Bryce Young has really shined. I mean, he's had, like you said, some moments, but they haven't resulted in wins. The difference between CJ Stroud and Bryce Young is those efforts have been matched by a better record. They're 4-4. The Texans are. Right now, Carolina Panthers have one win on the season, and again, oddly, against the Houston Texans. Okay, we're live from the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station number 2. This is a beautiful opportunity to donate to a charity that gives 90 cents on every single dollar to exactly what they're aimed to help with. And that's injured and ill service member get back on their feet after leaving the military, get home for the holidays if they're still active military, send families out to spend time with service members in the military if they're too injured or ill to travel. So again, call 619-578-2615. That's the number to dial, warriorfoundation.org for more information or to donate there. We need your help, and we would sure love it if you donated. Okay, coming up next.
Yep.
The scandal continues.
Cowbell.
We got Cowbell.
Cowbell.
Big Ten wants Harbaugh out. The Empire strikes back. We'll explain next. from the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station number 2. If you want to donate, 619-578-2615 is the number to call, and the donations are flying in. Also, a quick update on what's happening with Michigan Wolverine football next.
This update is presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports. Week 10 of the NFL season kicks off tonight with a riveting matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the Chicago Bears. In the NBA last night, the Lakers were smoked by the Rockets 128-94. That is the third worst loss for the Lakers in the LeBron James era. And the Nuggets edge the Warriors 108-105. Tonight, the Hawks take on the Magic in Mexico City. Aztecs Hoops returns to action tomorrow night when they take on BYU from Provo at 6 p.m. San Diego State has only won 4 ever times at BYU. You'll hear that call right here on San Diego Sports 760. Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS because life is more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
It's Big Rich, Genie, and Fletch at San Diego Sports 760.
Yes.
Wow, J-Riff in studio as we broadcast live from Warrior Foundation Freedom Station numero 2. J-Riff saying very mean things.
With the news.
Wow. Good Lord.
Oh, it's like
Wow.
J-Back with the news.
That's
Wow.
right. That's right.
Yeah, you know what's cool is that little piece as we were coming in, it was like, you were listening to the Warrior Foundation. The first version that came back, the copy had T-D. So, of course, they read it as, you're listening to Big Rich, Ted, and Fletch.
I figured you were going to say T-D and Fletch. No, listen, big voice guy aside, we are really enjoying our time here. This is
having a good time.
This is really special. We got to meet with our warrior Dana. We're going to be catching up with more warriors throughout the morning here. Love this every year. Opportunity to donate. If you're out there listening, again, 619-578-2615 is the number to dial. Please do. If you have any, and I mean anything, to give. If it's $5, trust me, that seems like very little. It's not. It goes a long way to send these injured and ill military members home for the holidays or their families out to visit with them, plus many other great programs that the Freedom Station offers and this foundation has for all of our military members.
Yeah, and look, when you're donating to send these Warriors home for the holidays, remember, it's not just for the Warrior. I mean, this is for the family.
Yes.
Getting the family together. And 90 cents of every dollar you donate goes right to these Warriors. And that says a lot, man, because there are a lot of programs. There are a lot of these, what am I talking about here? I was going to say facilities. There's no facility like this. But,
yeah.
I mean, there's so many programs that when you donate to, there are operating costs to make this happen. I mean, that's what it is. Yes, it's a nonprofit, but it does cost to operate. And Sandy Limcooler here at the Warrior Foundation has got those costs so low, and there's actually so few people that are here running this, which is magnificent.
Yep.
That it only takes a dime from every dollar you donate.
It also only takes about 2 minutes to do it.
You just donate?
Not even 2 minutes.
On the website?
On the website.
Did you donate
Warrior
$600?
Foundation. I did. No. I did a $25 donation, but I was doing it to see how quickly I could do it, and it took me less than 45 seconds.
Can we call them?
Yeah. Let's call them on air.
J-Ref, we would like to call.
That's my cowbell.
That's my cowbell.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So everybody match Ben Fletcher right now.
Yep.
$25. He just did it. It took him 45 seconds.
Right.
On warriorfoundation.org. I mean, look, if you're at a stoplight, maybe there's enough time. That's all I'm going to say. Take out your phone. Start.
I don't think we can tell
as
people
long
to
as
do
you're
that.
not driving.
As long as you're not driving and you're just parked at a stoplight is what I meant to say.
The Carson
Do
Park.
you text and drive?
I don't
What?
unless I do. And then in that case, it's still illegal.
Yeah,
Come
right.
get me, officers.
Yeah, I mean, can
No,
you
I'm kidding.
imagine? Can you imagine
I'm
looking
kidding.
at TikTok while you're driving?
Dude, I would never. Dude, that's gross. What? No way, not me.
Whoa.
Anyway, so
I would get fired,
Right.
like Jim Harbaugh.
But like the Big Ten sending Michigan a notice that's required by their sportsmanship policy in the event it becomes clear that an institution is likely to subject organization of penalties. Okay, so this is all of like the legalese like they have to do before they throw someone out of a conference or they suspend somebody for a long time. I know the Big Ten coaches like Ryan Day and Ryan Walters. There's a lot of Ryans head coaching in the Big Ten. They want Harbaugh out. But the situation is this. It's tricky to do that. It's really tricky to do that, especially when some of these other programs may potentially have done some of the things that Michigan has done. Maybe not to the level. Again, all of these are allegations about sign stealing and the way they've done it. But if you don't have a completely clean house and you start throwing these stones and start breaking your own windows, it's not going to do you any good. So Michigan has now sent a 10-page response back to the Big Ten saying, basically, if you try to throw Harbaugh out of this conference, we're going to sue the dog out of you.
Yeah, this is so lame. This is so dumb. You know, I'm sorry. Gosh, so someone has outsmarted the system here. This is what's happened, and they're angry about it. So instead of going, okay, hey, look, we are going to change the rules here to make sure we can't have this happen, it's let's throw the bum out for because, man, I don't know. There are some rules here that are being broken that I don't know of that are, deep in the bylaws somewhere in the NCAA. But if someone has a sign that they're using on the field and it can be seen in public view,
Yeah.
Why can't they use it to their advantage?
This is the weakest sports story of 2023. And it has legs because of the big name Jim Harbaugh, but it's the weakest story in the fact that it's a bunch of grown-ass men throwing a hissy fit about one guy being better at cheating than the rest of them.
Yeah.
And they all do it, and Harbaugh knows they all do it, and Michigan knows they all do it, and somehow it's still everyone just ganging up on Harbaugh trying to get him out, and it's probably going to work.
Let me read some of this from the Michigan response. Okay, so this is a 10-page response, so this is a short excerpt.
Tell me it's salty.
We remain steadfast in our conviction that due process matters. Like all members of the Big Ten Conference, we are entitled to a fair, deliberate, and thoughtful process to determine the full set of facts before judgment is made. We continue to fully cooperate with the NCAA and the Big Ten regarding this matter at this time. Like, this, to me, is obvious. It's the Michigan Wolverine football program and athletic department. They're trying to sort of say, hey, this is not a Big Ten matter. This would be unprecedented if the Big Ten stepped in and threw a coach out of the conference or suspended a coach without the NCAA acting first. So don't do it. Otherwise, we're going to find a way to sue all of you.
Yeah.
And the Michigan athletic program is basically putting that in print so that everybody at the conference office understands what the stakes are now. So I don't know where this goes, guys, but it sort of does feel more and more as the days go by that Harbaugh has done coaching, at least for now, at the college level after this year. But I don't think this is going to interrupt their national championship run because they're an undefeated team and they're potentially, unless Penn State has something to do about it this weekend.
Well, and they're cheating, so they have the leg up on everybody,
Yeah,
right?
that is true.
Well,
That is
yeah,
true.
and that'll be the excuse when the Nittany Lions lose to them.
Of course. This isn't just Michigan putting it out there on paper to put everybody on notice and to warn them of what could happen. This is Michigan State putting it on paper to make sure that they have a record of them trying to save their brand.
Yeah.
I think it's also just them trying to show the world, like they're coming after us for this, but everyone's doing it. Remember, we had the screenshots. Was that yesterday? This is the latest article that we're talking about today, but there was stuff yesterday where they were showing that there were 4 different schools in the Big Ten that shared film and shared sign stealing with each other about Michigan.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's everyone's doing it. I don't know why this is the one that's sticking, and I don't know why this is national news every single day.
Well, I would say part of it is sticking because maybe Jim Harbaugh did it the best, or maybe he did it the most,
or everyone
and
just
guess
hates
what?
him.
And that's the number 3 right there.
That's the number one if we're being honest. Like that's the biggest reason.
Here is okay. Okay. This is something we all know. And you know about this in your life. You know about this in okay, let's pretend we're the 3 of us are playing a board game.
Okay.
And
It's gonna be Monopoly.
It's going to be Monopoly.
Okay,
and,
cool.
That's like
and
a
say
5-6 hour.
we welcome in J-Riff, right? J-Riff is our 4th. And we suspect J-Riff of cheating.
He probably is.
Okay, and we know.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We all kind of
They hemorrhage the money from the bank.
Is J-Riff the banker?
Yeah, I have people spying on your guys' properties.
Okay, so check this out. So we suspect it, but we don't know. But we hate playing with J-Riff because we think he's doing it. But what happens if it becomes overt? What happens if all of a sudden we are catching him literally taking money from the bank or adding properties to places that he hasn't bought houses or hotels on,
and hiring someone named Connor to do the dirty work for him?
Exactly. All of a sudden we're like, why? Wait, we were playing with you, J-Riff. Why is this dude named Connor wearing sunglasses on Central Michigan sideline? We don't understand what's happening here. He's like, don't worry about it. He's going to run the bank for a little bit. So Monopoly all of a sudden becomes not fun, right? Because that's because he's breaking the rules in front of our faces and everybody can see it. It's the overt stealing of signals that people are upset with.
I get that. The problem with that scenario is if J-Riff's playing Monopoly with us and he's stealing money from the bank, that's clearly against the rules.
Yeah.
If Jim Harbaugh has some guy that's in the stands who, I don't know, happens to make a phone call down to the offensive coordinator and says, hey, guess what? They're doing XYZ. I mean, everybody saw it. I don't know. I don't know.
But I'm pretty sure it's against the NCAA rules to physically go and scout another team. And because they had this guy on staff, that's where you're breaking the rule.
That's right. If you're on staff, right, that's
Right.
the problem right there.
And
you pay him cash, of course. Everybody knows that.
Guys, we got to run, but we are here at the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station 2, and the cowbells are going off, and that means good things. And we have a huge shout out to give to Jamar, who went and matched the donation that we made on this show for $25. He said it took me exactly 41 seconds on the website to donate. He did it between sets at the gym. So don't listen to Rich and do it while you're driving.
Yep.
Do it while you're at the gym.
Or while you're driving. Listen,
Warrior Foundation.
Maybe just sit in the bathroom.
Yeah. No, listen, you don't have to be actively driving your vehicle, but you have your cell phone right there. It's just calling to you. It's beckoning you.
Yep.
Maybe pull over to the side of the road. Find a parking spot. Right. You know, I went to 7-Eleven, got a coffee before I came over here. I didn't realize the coffee at the Freedom Station was going to be so good. So I dumped out mine in her garden, in Sandy's garden, and I filled up my cup with, I'm sorry, Sandy. I am sorry, Sandy. I may have killed a flower. Look, the point is, if you're driving and you're texting, you're probably doing the wrong thing. But if you're donating, you're probably doing the right thing. So you figure it out. It's a moral conundrum.
619-578-2615. 619-578-2615. I really like the sound of cowbells and would like to hear a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, coming up next, live from the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station, we got to get to this. Peyton Manning, he took the low road. This one cut deep for some. That's next. All right, we're live from the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station looking for your donation, 619-578-2615. And also, we need to have an uncomfortable conversation about a starting quarterback. That's next. Okay, 619-578-2615. You heard it right there from Big Voice Guy. And every single time, I'm so sorry. Every single time a donation is made, we hear a cowbell ring. I'm so excited they don't even need the clapper inside those bells anymore.
Something else, if you hit us up on Twitter when you donate and you mention the name of your business, we will shout out your business. So get on over to warriorfoundation.org, make a donation, let us know at Big Rich TD Fletch, or call 619-578-2615 and make your donation today. Let us know who you're a part of, and we will shout it out on air.
We will shout it out. By the way, that's how the Liberty Bell got cracked.
Because somebody, was it Ben Franklin's clapper?
A little bit overzealous with the ringing.
You guys, we're trying to do something good here.
We are. We're doing something great right now.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, I wore a camo hat for our Warriors.
That's right. That's the sacrifice Travis had made.
That's right.
And that is significant.
Why'd you say that like it was a joke? It's a nice camo hat.
Oh, I know. It's duck camo.
Oh, it is. Wow.
I didn't know what that noise was. I thought Jaber was
I keep
playing like a pterodactyl sound.
I keep moving the microphone to clear my throat, and it's making all sorts of noise. All right. Okay, we are live from the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station. Please donate, 619-578-2615. It's a very worthy cause. I mean, I'll give you the sentence pitch. Send a service member home to see his or her family for the holiday season, or send their family out to spend time with a service member who's too injured or too ill to move, right? Yeah, I mean, that's the situation we're in. You can help somebody's holiday season this year, and it's a worthy cause, and we really, really appreciate everyone who's donated, and we encourage everyone to do what they can. Okay, so Peyton Manning, he takes the stage along with, it's Luke Bryan, right?
Yeah.
This is the second consecutive year at the CMAs.
Yeah.
So
shake it, girl. Shake it for me.
She's shaking it, and there's no question about it. And they got on stage, and Peyton, obviously always with the jokes. He's been doing this for a long time now.
Yeah.
He took a low shot at the New York Jets.
Yeah.
He's got a big ass forehead.
He said,
forehead.
well, he asked the question, what is the difference between Taylor Swift and the Jets?
Okay, I could tell you.
What?
The Jets, the team, don't burn up all that CO2 and kill this planet, Taylor.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
With your private jets.
They're just called the Jets. But you you are destroying our green earth.
That was my favorite conspiracy theory, that she was going to the Jets game to get Google to stop doing her private jet stories. Every time they Google Taylor Swift Jets, now it's Taylor Swift at the Jets game.
Yeah, with Mama Kelsey.
Yeah, right. Well, he asked the question. So Peyton asked that question, what's the difference between Taylor Swift and the Jets? And then Luke Bryan gave the punchline and said, Taylor can sell out a stadium.
Oh, MetLife getting a little bit empty. Okay, let me give you the biggest reason why that's happening is because everybody who bought tickets was supposed to see Aaron Rodgers as the starting quarterback, and he got injured on play 4 of their season, and so it's the Zach Wilson show, which means he's literally going to go out there and kneel on the ball and punt, and the defense is going to save the day because their offense is not working.
It does kind of feel like the Jets won't win unless they get like a pick 6.
Right.
Yeah. Well, because then they'd have to win at least 7-3.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. I mean, like Zach Wilson has been doing this for his 3rd season now as a starter for either a portion or all of the season, and it just hasn't gotten much better.
He just never looks like a starter.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like the backup. He looks like the guy that can get you through the game, not the guy that's going to be the hero ever. And again, there's moments of, hey, he's pretty good, but he's not Aaron Rodgers.
No. And I mean, look, they went on a 3-game win streak after a 3-game losing streak. So
I might say a little bit of luck there.
Yeah, I mean, they beat the Eagles. I mean, they beat the Eagles. That was their first loss of the year, a 2014 victory. That was a home game. They went on the road. They beat the Denver Broncos. I mean,
Shocker.
I mean, the Broncos beat the Chiefs,
and you can't say it was a road game really when they beat the Giants at the Giants because they play in the same stadium. But the most recent loss, I think, revealed something. Chargers went on the road, and it was just a boot party. They stomped them out, and now they head to Las Vegas to play this resurgent Raider team. I don't know where this season heads next, but if they lose this game, is Zach Wilson still the starting quarterback in New York?
You hear the cowbells going off. That is because another donation has rolled in. 619-578-2615. 619-578-2615. It's the Warrior Workshop at the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station number 2. We're taking donations all day long. We will give your business a shout out. Let us know who you are on Twitter after you make a donation.
Yeah, I would say the clock is ticking on Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be ticking here. Now,
they miss Mike White.
Look, if the Jets are looking to make the playoffs.
No,
I think they do.
Taj Boyd.
Yeah, it's going to.
Who?
Well, it's going to be. It's going to. Wait, who is their backup again? Is it Tim Boyle in New York, or do they have somebody else backing up? I forget. I think it's Tim Boyle.
I think it is.
I think it's
Sheriff. Is it someone else?
No, I said Taj Boyd as a joke. Like years ago, he was like their. Yeah, Tim Boyle is their backup.
Yeah, yeah, and frankly, I don't know. This is the thing. I have no idea if it's going to look any better. What I will say is he's had more time with Nathaniel Hackett. So he was with Aaron Rodgers as the backup in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers asked for the Jets to bring Tim Boyle with him when he signed as a quarterback. And he actually signed before Aaron got the trade consummated between the Jets and the Green Bay Packers. So this is a guy he wanted in the room. This is a guy who obviously has worked with Hackett in the past, offensive coordinator in New York when they were together in Green Bay. So you assume maybe there'll be a little bit more consistency there, but who knows? Honestly, who really knows what it's going to look like if they do put Tim Boyle out there?
Wow, look at this.
Okay, so Brian, our main man, Brian, who gave us donuts
Brian
earlier,
with the donuts,
is holding a gigantic prosthetic leg in front of us. Whose leg is that?
It belongs to Anthony.
Oh, wow.
Okay. He lives at
Freedom Station 1, and he's 8 feet tall.
Wow.
He is 8 feet tall. Hang on a second. This is that. Wow, look at this. This is incredibly advanced.
No,
That's the way I would describe it.
I believe Anthony is our next guest at 7:10.
Yeah, we're going to be joined by Anthony coming up here. And
something tells me those are not cheap.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Right. Yeah, let's see this thing.
Prosthetic limbs like the one that we're getting to see here at the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station
that is weighty.
Are seriously expensive. They're high-tech technology, and they are given to the people here who have had to have limbs amputated, fighting for this country. So again, if there's any room in your budget this holiday season to help out a service member in need, 619-578 2615. You could send an injured or ill serviceman or woman home for the holidays. If they can't travel, their family will be sent to visit with them. warriorfoundation.org. There is no greater gift you could give this holiday season. Okay, coming up, we got to have that chat with Anthony, like we mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be joining us, an in-person interview with one of the Warriors who have been served by the Warrior Foundation. Also, there's a lot of speculation around Juan Soto, right? What are the Padres going to do this offseason with their slugger? All of a sudden, maybe we have some answers. That's next. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
This update is presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports. Week 10 of the NFL season kicks off tonight with a riveting matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the Chicago Bears. In the NBA last night, the Lakers were smoked by the Rockets, 128-94. That is the third largest loss in point totals for the Lakers in the LeBron James era. The Nuggets edged the Warriors 108-105. Tonight, the Hawks take on the Magic in Mexico City. Aztecs Hoops returns to action tomorrow night when they take on BYU from Provo at 6 o'clock. You'll hear that right here on San Diego Sports 760. Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS because life is more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Yeah! Woo! Happy Thursday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch live this beautiful San Diego morning. What do you got, man?
I think the FM wants to have a fist fight.
You're talking about Rock 105.3?
Yeah, Rock 105.3.
Full Anchorman style.
I am going to double leg drop kick Eddie Papani in the face.
Yeah.
And it's for the troops.
It's for the troops, everybody.
Yes.
Yep. And
Yes.
if you would like to see that for the troops,
We
go
just
to
need
warriorfoundation.org.
a small donation on behalf of Eddie getting kicked directly in the face.
Yep.
Warriorfoundation.org. It takes 40 seconds in order to give so much
We
this
timed
holiday
it.
season.
40. Now, I feel like 40 seconds, you could donate like 7 times in the time it takes
It's
to
true.
go through the McDonald's
It's a
drive-through.
good point. Some people
Right.
say, it's too fast. And I say 40 seconds feels like forever to me.
Yeah,
But
I mean, 40
but-
seconds is a long time. A long
619
time.
619 578 2615 619 578 2615. That's the number to call, or warriorfoundation.org. We tried this out. It took me 45 seconds. Jamar beat my record at 41 seconds. Thank you,
listen,
Jamar, for doing
Wow,
that.
Jamar did it.
Anyway, he's a performer.
Yeah.
No performance anxiety there. Get on warriorfoundation.org, and any donation, any size donation, it matters. Trust me. Some people say 5 is the perfect amount.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah,
fine.
without a doubt.
Okay.
Also, like, there wasn't always a Sandy Lem cooler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a very unique thing that Sandy and the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station does. Like, I know when my grandpa was serving in the military, there wasn't a Sandy Lem cooler, and
No.
I'm sure my grandma would have loved to have him home more often.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
this is something that's really cool that you can do to help send wounded warriors home for the holidays.
Yeah, these people,
Happy
they've
holidays.
made the ultimate sacrifice for this country. So you could sacrifice, I don't know, a pack of smokes, a coffee this morning. I mean, honestly, even if you're a little bit strapped, we get where people are at.
Right. I totally get where people
Yeah,
are at. But,
I- a couple of bucks matters. It
Right.
really does.
and like, maybe instead of the Starbucks, you just swing through Chevron.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, no
talking
big deal.
about.
Don't drink the gas though.
Yeah.
Don't conflate those two things.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, gas more money than a Starbucks.
Exactly.
A gallon of gas more than a Starbucks.
Hey, so again, the number to dial is 619-578-2615. And I know we joke around a lot, but this is one of the best ways you can spend a little cash this holiday season. Coming up next, we're going to be talking to Anthony, an in-person Warrior interview.
Incredible athlete. By
Oh
the
my
way.
gosh. He is ranked 5th in the world for the National Paralympic team for shot put. And
Yeah.
I want him to throw something.
We're going to find something for Anthony
Yeah.
to throw.
Yeah.
That's coming up in about 8 minutes.
I think we could probably just have him throw Bill Leonard.
Right. Well, yeah. Or
Definitely
just like,
strong
I
enough
mean,
to. I mean, there's no. And honestly, somebody should.
yeah.
I mean, even if it's not Anthony, somebody should throw
Right.
Bill Leonard. I've been
Right.
saying it for years.
Right.
There has been a lot of speculation around Juan Soto, what the San Diego Padres are going to do, whether or not they're interested in unloading the slugger this offseason. Obviously, he's owed something north of $34 million in arbitration this upcoming baseball season. So his bat is going to be expensive, but he's got a good bat, and he's a left-handed hitter, and there's a need for that. So,
And he has a really good agent
and he's got a really good agent by the name of Scott Boras.
who did his usual thing yesterday at the GM meetings. He was doing all his puns about, full belly, as in Cody Bellinger.
Yeah.
Talking about his full belly in terms of his next contract. He was talking about Juan Soto as well. And J-Riff, I think we have this sound. Let's hear what Scotty Boras had to say.
Where Juan Soto stands with the Padres right now. Met with the Padres. They laid out their plan for next year, which obviously included, a lineup that is definitely includes Juan Soto. He's their 900 OPS player, and they're obviously looking for more left-handed bats rather than less.
So this is very exciting for Padre fans. They hear that from Scott Boras, and they're thinking Juan Soto is going to be on the team next year after a lot of speculation. What I will tell people is that a week after the season ended, Bob Melvin was also supposed to be on this Padres team next year. And they said that with 100% certainty.
They certainly did.
So the Padres are liars.
Well,
that's what they do.
Hang on.
No, what are you supposed to say here?
Of course.
Well, with Scott Boras, this honestly could be exactly what the Padres said to him, and I don't actually doubt it. I believe that Scott Boras is saying what the Padres told him. Here's the other side of it. Juan Soto is a Padre until a better option comes along. Like, if all of a sudden they can restock their farm system to, I don't know, whatever it is, to a level of prospect that they weren't expecting to be able to unearth for Juan Soto, well, then you got to do what's right for the business.
Or how about this, Rich? A team is willing to take on some of the Padres' bad contracts along with Juan Soto. Like, if the Padres are truly committed to spending less money next year, one way not to spend more money is by getting Juan Soto in arbitration.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if I'd say Juan Soto's a bad
No,
contract.
I'm not saying Juan Soto. I'm saying Jake Cronenworth is a bad
Oh,
contract.
no, okay.
And if you can attach Cronenworth to Juan Soto, that makes your team better next year.
Yeah, we said that with Bob Melvin of like, oh, cool. So Bob left. I mean, is he taking Cronin? I mean, look, Juan Soto. Would he end up being the best Padre of last season? Is that where this fell out?
Bat. Yeah.
Blake Snow was the best Padre last season.
Say,
but as a bat,
best
yes.
bat.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So best bat. So I mean, here's a guy that has, I don't want to say carried the team, but is a lot of the reason why there was success with the Padres last season, even though we're calling it a failed season at 82-80. What are you going to say? I mean, these stats that he throws out here are correct. You're not going to say, yeah, I mean, Padres are looking to dismantle everything, including Juan Soto. So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I just see it this way. If you're looking to get cheaper, if you're looking to somehow have a cost savings, well, Juan Soto most likely has to be a part of that. But also to Ben's point about what we've been told versus what has actually happened, things change. So we hear Bob Melvin is going to be our manager next season, right? Bob Melvin is our manager. Those were the exact words from AJ Preller. Well, until he's not,
and that took exactly 4 days.
Yeah, days later, Bob Melvin is now the San Francisco Giants manager. So I feel similarly about the reports that they want to spend less money. Yeah, maybe they do, but maybe Peter Seidler changes his mind. Maybe the Padres are cleared for another loan. I don't know what it's going to take. Look, I've never ran a business at that level, and frankly, I don't want to. It sounds extremely stressful. And this team, though, they can say whatever they want. Actions speak louder than words.
By the way, a year ago, Peter Seidler said this is going to be the Padres' decade. He was going to spend money, and then now we're talking about how you got to cut back.
Well, they did have to take out a $50 million loan last year to cover payroll.
Whatever. What's 50?
They're probably going to have to take another one.
Which, by the way, I look at this as a non-story. Right. I really do. The
loan?
The loan.
How is that a non-story?
Oh, because this happens all the time. All the time with big major businesses around this country taking out loans all the time to cover expenses. In fact, it's better to pay back debt than to pay out of your own pocket, because while you're keeping that money on board, you can invest and make money on your money while you're paying down a loan.
Rite Aid is doing it right now. It's how you reorganize your whatever it is, your debt. It's a part of running businesses worth billions of dollars, which nobody else does. And by the way, the only reason why anybody got handed that story was because the rest of the owners, who many of them have taken loans just like the Padres did, wanted to embarrass the Padres. Right.
That's my opinion on the whole situation.
619-578-2615.
Match Peter Seidler's loan.
What did
$50 million donation is what we're looking for.
619-578-2615. That's the number to call. It goes straight to the Warrior Workshop here at Warrior Foundation Freedom Station number 2, where you can help send injured and wounded and sick troops home for the holidays. And I think we're ready for our next guest, guys.
Yeah, Anthony, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic. How y'all doing this morning?
Oh, my God.
Really good. Better chatting with you, Anthony. So as Travis mentioned, you are an athlete. and you're a shot putter, and we
And
have
a hell of a basketball player as well.
Right.
we and a basketball. We have a request.
Appreciate it, guys.
How far can you throw Bill Leonard?
Yes.
Is it possible that we can see that at some point today?
If the law's not around, I'll
Yeah,
do
that's
it.
fine.
Okay, yeah, no, they're
I
not
mean-
here. They're not here. So we're gonna need you to do that immediately.
Wait,
No,
could you
Oh,
shot
like-
put this donut like across the street?
Probably across 3 streets.
Ayo. We should do that.
So,
Yeah.
Anthony, obviously we're here. We're having a great time because of the kind folks here at the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station. But you're here for a reason. You've gotten help from the kind people here, Sandy and the whole company. Why don't you bring us through a little bit of your personal story and what brought you here and how the
Okay.
Freedom Station has helped you out?
All right. Well, great. We can start right now. I was in the Army. I was medically retired. I was in a really bad car accident, and through that car accident, I lost my right leg. And I was trying to find my purpose and trying to find life. I would like to say I found the Warrior Foundation, but they found me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they found me.
And how did they do that? How did they reach out?
Well, I was playing basketball, and somebody suggested that I come play for the San Diego Wolfpack, and I thought I was just coming here to play basketball, but there's so much more that needed to go on with my life, as far as like moving forward, trying to succeed and find my goals. And the Warrior Foundation helped me out with that. It was very instrumental in my life, and moving forward, they're always going to be with me.
So after the car accident, you lose your leg, you're wheelchair bound, you're playing basketball. The folks here suggest that you come by and play basketball with them, and then you realize some of the things that they offer
Yes.
for wounded service members. What were some of the services that they were able to help you with?
Well, actually, so I'm originally from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And my family's all the way on the other side of the coast. Of the country. So it's I got the home for troops where I got to fly home and see my family 2 times, and it was a great thing for me because I miss my family. I'm very family oriented, and they helped me out with that. And I wanted to finish my education, and they gave me a pathway to do that. So right now I'm finishing up my master's degree in sports psychology.
Wow.
And I needed help with my equipment as far as like trying to compete and everything. So now I'm highly ranked in the nation and up there in the world for shot put, and they helped me with my equipment, my travel, and anything else that I needed along the way. And it made me confident, strong, and I'm out here doing things, and it's because of the Warrior Foundation. They put me on the right track.
Yeah, and Brian came by with your prosthetic leg.
Which, by the way, is an
Yeah.
enormous
Yeah,
prosthetic
true.
leg. I mean,
I think it's normal for me. But
how tall are you?
I'm 6'9" and a
Yeah.
half.
Okay. So yeah, that makes sense. I was like, this belongs to an 8-foot tall man. That's what that was my guess. That sucker's heavy.
Yeah, it is heavy.
Yeah.
I'm a heavy person. So
Yeah, you need it strong. You need it strong.
absolutely. It's
Yeah,
got to
man.
be strong like me.
So now that prosthetic leg, the wheelchair that you use, the wheelchair you use for basketball, I'm assuming is a different wheelchair as far as normal everyday life. All this costs a lot of money. The Warrior Foundation, they help out with all that.
Absolutely. They helped out with my prosthetic. They helped me find a good prosthetic person.
Yeah.
And we're making new strides as far as me walking. I never had nobody work side by side with me to help me with my process, and it's great with that. And my wheelchairs, as far we need these custom made wheelchairs that are light,
Yeah.
and complement your body type and help you be successful on the court. And I'm pretty successful on the court, and they help me with the wheelchairs.
Yeah, talk to us about being successful on the court. You're wearing a sweatshirt here. What is the Wolfpack?
Oh man, the Wolfpack is the team that was started by the Warrior Foundation, and and that's how I got connected with the Warrior Foundation. Some of the guys that I played against or played with, they suggested coming to the Warrior Foundation, and we travel the country and we beat people and we compete hard, and we take our military values with us along the way, and it's a respectable thing because we're out there, we're competing, we depend on each other, and we always step up to the challenge, and we become successful doing that.
619-578-2615, 619-578-2615. If you're inspired listening to Anthony's story, you can help, because we say thanks to the Warrior Foundation all the time, but really it's thanks to you. Thanks to the listeners who are donating today, making this all possible. Anthony, without the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station, how's your life different? Where are you right now?
To be honest with you, I'll probably be in a standstill. I have no idea where I will be, but I can't believe some of the things that I'm accomplishing and some of the things that I'm able to do on behalf of the Warrior Foundation. They help me out a lot. I seriously don't know where my life would be right now without them.
It's incredible. And it really is that, right? It's meeting the right people at the right time. And for many of the service members who we've had an opportunity to speak to over the years, but also your story, it's no different. You just need a starting point. Like you had everything you needed inside of you. You just needed somebody to help you get started and push you into the right direction.
Absolutely. And when I started to gain my confidence, I just needed direction. I needed to go, and I took one step towards them. They took two steps towards me, and I'm so thankful for what they do. And I just, more people like me, I want to tell them that they have a chance. Just stay focused and stay motivated, because success is reachable.
Yeah. How about that?
You said you're getting your degree now, and was it sports psychology?
Sports psychology.
How awesome is that, man?
Oh, it's amazing.
What are you looking to get in? What are you looking to get into?
Actually, you know what? I want to
Sports psychology.
Yeah, exactly. Sports psychology, the psychology of the sport. But I feel like so much has been done for my progress. I want to give back, and this is my way of giving back to athletes that are in my position. Or when I first started with sports, not having that direction, not knowing where to reach for those tools at, because the tools are inside of you. I want to help people in my position reach those goals.
You are a walking billboard for success.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is that.
Yeah, it's really impressive, this story.
And Anthony, I don't know. Do you realize that you have this aura about you? I mean, this larger than life. And to me, I feel like, did the Warrior Foundation help bring that out? Or did they maybe bring it back to your life? Because you just seem like a special person without even saying a word.
I just say, I'm blessed to wake up every day, and through those blessings of waking up every day, I have a foundation that's behind me, and they support me, and they're confident in my abilities. So what else can I do except for being confident within my own abilities? Like, it's just as simple as that.
Anthony, you said something there that I thought was really poignant, and I think it's something that a lot of people in your situation need to hear. You took one step toward the Warrior Foundation, and they took two steps towards you. So if there's any active military or a former military out there listening, and you need help with something, this is the place to receive help. If you are somebody who's interested in donating today, whether you've had military in your family, somebody who you love, fight for this country like Anthony did for all of us. And thank you for your service, by the way.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Please call right now, 619-578-2615. That's 619-578-2615, or visit warriorfoundation.org. Benny Boyd just did this. Fletch, it took him 45 seconds to donate. He put in $25. We're encouraging all of our listeners, at very least, match his donation, but give anything you can.
Double me up.
Double them up.
Yeah.
Embarrass them.
Yeah.
Double up.
Yeah, right.
And it's $600. That sends one troop home for the holidays.
And everybody
$600.
Everybody knows that Fletch likes to be doubled up.
He really does.
Yeah.
He really, really does.
It's also really gross.
Anthony, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for your service.
Pleasure's all
Thank
mine.
you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
From you. Thank you
Thanks,
so
buddy.
much.
Thanks,
Our
buddy.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Our pleasure. There he goes, Anthony, another one of the Warriors who has been helped by the Freedom Station here. but the Warrior Foundation, it goes beyond the grounds here at Freedom Station number 2. They help all of these injured and former and current military members with transitional housing, wellness programs, outdoor therapy, PTSD help, right? Traumatic brain injury. If any member of the military has been involved in those, they have help for them. Cancer support. I mean, it goes on and on and on.
Right,
I'm reading
right.
from a list right now. It's 3 pages long.
I know,
It's crazy.
incredible.
And we want more cowbell. So 619-578-2615, 619-578-20 or 2615.
Okay.
Call Santa's helpers. They look bored.
Really,
What?
really quick.
They
Yeah,
look
they
bored.
look a little bored right now. We got to get some. We got to get some phones ringing.
More cowbell.
Anthony.
578-2615.
Shut, put this donut in.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah,
That's
phone's
ringing. That's
ringing.
what we
like
like
to
There
hear.
we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, really quick, before we run here, Juan Soto, Padre in 2024 or not?
I say no.
You say no.
Man, I'm 50-50 on it.
Yeah.
That wasn't the question.
I know. I don't know what. I'm gonna lean towards no. I'm gonna lean towards no.
I think he might be. I get the feeling that Peter Seidler was like, yeah, we need a cutback. And then all of a sudden it's going to be like the Wolf of Wall Street. He's going to grab that microphone. And he's like,
not going
I'm not going anywhere.
So it might. Peter Seidler's not the one saying we need to cut back. I think Eric Grupner, the dude in charge of the business side,
Yeah.
is the one begging Peter to cut back. Like Peter, we cannot keep doing this. I don't think Peter cares.
No, I don't think he does. All right, we're live from the Freedom Station, number 2, Warrior Foundation. Again, that number to call, very simple, 619-578-2615, warriorfoundation.org. If you want to donate, and we suggest you do, please call right now.
Mama Dale just donated.
Oh, Mama Dale.
Mama Dale was $600.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
She did it. She's sending
That's
a
it.
Warrior home for the holidays.
Are you kidding?
Thank
oh
you,
my
Mama Dale.
gosh. Jeez. Oh, man. You can feel it. The generosity is flowing. We're thrilled to be out here. And coming up next, we continue our efforts to raise money for the troops, but also mid-season in the NFL. It's time to give some predictions. We will on the other side. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
619-578-2615. That's 619-578-2615. Give the gift of sending some troops home for the holidays. They would really love your donations. Midseason NFL predictions coming up next.
DraftKings Fantasy Sports is the presenter of this update. Week 10 of the NFL season kicks off tonight with a riveting matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the Chicago Bears. In the NBA last night, the Lakers were smoked by the Rockets 128-94. How about this stat? The Lakers have been outscored in first quarters by 74 points this season. They've lost 3 straight. Nuggets edge the Warriors 108-105 tonight. The Hawks take on the Magic in Mexico City. Aztec Hoops returns to action tomorrow night, looking for a rare win in Provo as they take on BYU at 6 o'clock. You'll hear that right here on San Diego Sports 760. Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS, because life is more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Send an injured and ill serviceman or woman home for the holidays. If they can't travel, we'll send their family out to them. Not us in particular, but the Warrior Foundation will. Like, we're not sending anybody anywhere. We are literally just the conduits to doing a little bit of good this holiday season. It's really all of the great listeners who have already supported the Warrior Foundation and their continued efforts to keep this place going. We're live at Freedom Station number 2 here. And we've already spoken to Dana and Anthony, 2 proud Warriors who have been served by the Warrior Foundation. Anthony helped with his prosthetic leg, his wheelchairs, many wheelchairs, and an effort to get him back into sports after his accident. Dana, her issues and efforts after leaving the military. There was a lot of unknown. There was a lot of uncertainty, and the Warrior Foundation has helped her find housing and her way. So a lot of good to be done here. 619-578-2615 is the number to call. warriorfoundation.org. And what are you holding on to there?
Well, we got a shout out to give out to listener Jason out in Texas.
Yes.
Which was very surprising to all of Santa's elves, but we have listeners all over the country,
Yeah, we
as
do.
we know.
Yep. He might be a tuba player.
But Jason from Amarillo, Texas, thank you so much for your donation. He called the number, and that number is 619-578-2615.
Awesome.
Be like Jason. All you Chicago people that listen to the show every morning for some reason.
Amarillo by morning.
Hey, real quick, let's go around divisions in the NFL because it is week 9, and with an 18-week season, including the bye week, we are officially at the middle
I think
of
it's
the
week
season.
10.
We're coming up on week 10.
10 starts tonight.
Yeah. We're coming up on week 10. We just finished week 9, so we're
That
this
makes me
is
sad.
sad. We are dead in the middle of this season. I mean, it really
God, they grow up
yeah.
so fast.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's buzz through divisions, though. We'll go division to division. We'll start with the AFC East. Who do you think wins that division out of the East?
I would say my money's on the Dolphins.
Dolphins,
I know
okay.
they're leading it. I don't think they lose this lead. I think the Bills continue to struggle, and the Dolphins end up taking the top spot.
Give me the Patriots. Just kidding. Dolphins with a bullet. The Bills are. There's something off about the team, and I don't know if they can turn it around. I would give it to the Bills because the Dolphins also have shown they're mortal. Every time the Dolphins play a team over 500, it hasn't gone well for them. They've been beating up on a lot of bad teams, Denver Broncos, but they struggle against the upper echelon of the NFL. So it's going to be a tight race between the Dolphins and the Bills, but I still give it to the Dolphins.
I mean, they should choose only to play teams that are under 500.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
I'm gonna take the Bills, and the only reason why is because I just don't trust that Tua can stay healthy for a full season until I see it. I think there are huge concerns there. Obviously, for the Dolphins, they've changed things up a lot offensively to help them out in that.
So wait,
category.
you are taking the Bills?
I'm taking the Bills.
You know what? I don't trust that Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen have a simpatico relationship by the end of this season.
Okay.
Now the Bills did they just add Leonard Fournette?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Adding playoff Lenny, I always think is a good move. And have you seen that dude recently?
Yeah, he's got hamstrings like biceps. It's unbelievable.
Other way around.
Yeah, no, hamstrings like biceps. If you look, here, I'll show you the picture. Hang on.
Okay, no, I know what you're saying, but
no. I know. I know you're confused.
Like they're bulgy and large.
Yeah,
they are bulgy and large.
I know you're confused. Let me show you this picture, and it will no longer be confusing.
I've seen the picture.
Where his hamstrings literally look like a curled arm.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's unbelievable.
Proportion, they're much bigger than a bicep.
Well, yeah, obviously, but I'm just saying, how often do you see a
depends
pronounced
on who you're looking at.
lump?
That's true.
I mean, it really is crazy. Anyways,
what's
let's
the next
move on
division?
to the AFC
Speaking
North.
of pronounced lump.
Yeah,
Nick Bosa.
Hard transition back to Skims with Nick Bosa.
So similar concerns at the top of this one, right? A quarterback that doesn't always stay healthy. So Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens are 7-2 right now, kind of looking like world beaters. Lamar has so much juice in his game right now, but can he stay healthy is the question. With all that being said, Cleveland Browns are going to win this division.
Whoa!
What?
And I'll tell you why. I don't know if you guys watched last week, but outside of the touchdown he threw that bounced off of someone's helmet and landed in Amari Cooper's arms, Deshaun Watson was playing some pretty good football. And if he's fully back, they have a chance to do big things.
I have no trust in the Browns because they are the Browns.
That's correct.
I have a hard time trusting Lamar Jackson. Same thing I said about Tua is going to
stay healthy. Defense is the best defense in the NFL.
Well,
hands down.
They're perfect.
I'm going to take the Bengals. I'm going to take the Bengals here in the AFC North winning it because
they're in last place.
Joe Shiesty, though. Yeah, they're in last place with a winning record.
Yeah, well,
they're 5-3 in last place.
Hold on. They're in last place, yet also tied for second. So, I mean, there's 3 teams that are 5-3 in this division.
Yeah, yes, but they've lost to teams in division.
Look,
so
I get
it.
I understand how it works. I'm just saying when I'm looking at the record here at 5-3, I'm with you, Rich. I do not trust the Ravens. I do not trust that Lamar Jackson stays healthy. I think the Bengals catch them. I think the Bengals win this division as well.
Am I not allowed to say Deshaun Watson's good at football? Is that going to get me canceled?
No. You could say whatever you want, but yeah, cancel Fletch.
Okay.
Hashtag cancel Fletch.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the AFC South, we got the Jags, Texans,
Did
Colts,
we skip
and
over the West or
no? We'll get there.
Okay,
we'll get there.
He's not going like a compass.
No, I'm going to every which direction.
God, I don't like this division at all.
I'm all over the place.
Jags, Texans, Colts, Titans. Jags in the lead right now at 6-2. I don't like this division.
I'll tell you why I like it because CJ Stroud, I'll go first. I got the Texans winning this division.
Wow.
This is going to sound ridiculous, but every single year there is a division winner where you say, how did they pull that off?
And it's usually at like 9-8.
And I feel like this is going to be one of those divisions that within the division, they're going to beat up on each other. And the Houston Texans have already beaten the Jaguars once this season. Oof. I got the Texans winning this division. I just have a feeling about CJ Stroud. He's on a special tear right now as a quarterback.
Here's the Texans' next 4 games. They
Go
got
ahead.
Bengals, Cardinals, Jags, Broncos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're
with
they're
one
in,
win.
they're in for a little bit of a rough stretch here. But no, listen,
Cardinals with Kyler Murray returning.
Yeah.
Broncos, who all of a sudden are looking like a football team instead of what they were. Jags are a good team. Bengals are a great team. That's a tough stretch.
Dude, I get it, but CJ Stroud, is he not great?
He's great.
fantastic.
He's great. And he's probably my favorite quarterback to watch right now.
And in division, okay, what we have is Will Levis, we have Gardner Minshew, we have Trevor Lawrence, who has come on this season, and he's looking good now. But
Dude, those next 4 games, I don't know if there's a single win.
CJ Stroud is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Who's he playing with?
I
It's
get
like
it.
he's making
Wait,
Nico
wait,
Collins great. He's
wait.
making Noah Brown good.
You-
He's
it's like you're forgetting about Tank Dell.
you're making my point even
Wait,
more.
what about Dare Ogunbowale, backup kicker?
Yeah.
There's that.
And like necessary backup kicker.
Okay, hang on. So
Hold
who do
on.
you guys take to win this division?
Give me the Jags.
The
You got
Jags. The
you got
Jags
Trevor
all
Lawrence
day.
and Doug
Okay,
Peterson, dude.
AFC West,
But no-
moving on.
But look, okay, hold on, just
Well,
real
okay,
quick with the Jags. The Jags, they have the Niners, Titans, Texans, Bengals, and then Browns,
Oh,
Ravens.
yeah,
Bucks.
God,
Okay,
that's tough, too.
That's a
Okay,
buzzsaw.
however, right. No, I'm looking at the remainder of the season here for the Jags going, I mean, they may have 3 more losses. They're going to finish the season 12-3 or 12-5. There's no one else in that division that's going to catch them.
I'm telling you right now,
There's more losses than 3 on there.
I feel
Loss.
No, they'll win this game. They will win the game against the Texans.
All right.
The Browns, no.
Okay,
Browns,
AFC
Browns are
West,
falling apart
can
by
we-
December 10th.
Can we just
Okay.
1, 2, 3 the AFC West?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Okay, moving on to the NFC now. Let's talk about the NFC East. Let's go NFC East, Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, Giants. Actually,
1, 2, 3 Eagles.
yeah,
You're done.
I just read down the list. I have them in exactly that order. I have the Eagles over the Cowboys, who will
Correct.
finish in second place.
Yes.
Commanders, then Giants, obviously. So are we all in agreement there? Consensus, Eagles,
Eagles.
win that
1,000,000%.
division?
Okay,
NFC North, this one's going to be tight. Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears. Oh, my.
North.
So Lions in the lead
Who
right now
goes
at
east
6 and
to
2.
north?
Vikings at 5 and 4. It doesn't matter,
It's
man.
East, west, north, south.
No, you stop it.
Okay, go
You
ahead.
Stop it. Yeah.
So Lions in the lead right now. Vikings, who have looked like they're starting to come on. Josh Dobbs gives them a little bit of a shot in the arm. I like the Vikings here, guys.
No, absolutely
No
not.
way.
I do.
No way.
I do.
No way.
I do.
Okay, Josh Dobbs, Jordan Love, and whoever the Bears decide to start for the rest of the season is what Jared Goff, who had something resembling an MVP-like season last year, and he's off to an awesome start this year through the first half. I got the Lions winning with a bullet here in the NFC North.
Yeah, it's not even close, man. The Lions are the far better team. I mean, just take 2 steps back and look at this division. You tell me Lions are not the best team. I mean, hands down.
Okay, listen, we're going to go to the South, and I know this is hurting your heart, Travis, that we're going from north to south, but we're doing
No, that's
it.
what we need to do.
Okay,
we
okay.
skip the west. It's fine.
We'll get
It's
back
fine.
to the west.
It's, you know
All right.
what? It's chaos.
Saints in first place at 5 and 4. Falcons 4 and 5. Bucks 3 and 5. Panthers 1 and 7. Who are on Thursday Night Football against the 2 and 7 Bears.
Yeah.
This is the start
I
of the
feel like
comeback.
the Panthers are going to finish last place. Is that a weird take?
No, that's
That's
on the
hot.
money.
Hot take, everybody.
How about the Bucks after starting 3 and 0 on the year have not won since. They've lost 5 straight. And then the Saints are 5 and 4, Falcons 4 and 5. I like the Falcons here.
I'll tell you why, because Arthur Smith is not using Bijan Robinson.
He's gonna start.
I don't
He
get
has
it.
to.
I don't get it. I don't like it. And also, they've got problems at quarterback. Saints, I'm not saying Derek Carr has been perfect. I think he's still getting used to the offensive weapons that he's working with, and he's still not used to offensive system he's running quite yet. But that New Orleans defense is astonishingly good.
Yep.
And I feel like defense is going to win this division. I got the Saints winning in the South.
I am 100% with you, Rich, for all those exact same reasons. And what shocks me is NFL.com put out which team will win Super Bowl 53 or 58. And they, voted on it, ranked them. Tied for 7th are the Saints.
Yeah.
They got it. That defense is terrifying.
Yeah.
And
No, they're
Derek
good.
Carr is good enough. NFC West, Niners in first place, 5-3. Seahawks tied 5-3. Rams 3-6. Cardinals 1-8. Cardinals actually currently own the number 1 overall pick for next season.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna give this to the San Francisco 49ers coming off the bye. I think they're gonna fix some things.
How big of an impact is Chase Young?
Chase Young's a huge impact, and it's because of who he's playing across from. I think him and Nick Bosa are about to wreck house defensively.
And then don't forget Eric Armstead in the middle. So who are you going to double team? Because those are all 3 double teamable guys.
Right.
You got a hard fought battle up front against that pass rush. But then more importantly, I think Brock Purdy, he got the bye week at the perfect time. They went on this 3-game slide. They got an opportunity to get healthier. Maybe Debo's back in a week or 2.
He got back to his tractor. He needed that. You know?
Yeah.
The big combine harvester. Yeah, I got the anybody arguing with it? The 49ers at the top?
No, 49ers at the top.
We know Fletch says 49ers.
I mean, you could make an argument for the Seahawks. I'm not going to sit here and say you can't, but I do think the Niners will.
They've been kind of bad lately.
Yeah, they have been kind of bad. They've kind of been on the skids. But you know what shocks me about the entire NFC is as we're naming off these teams and we're saying, oh, this team could have a chance. This team could do a little bit better. There's a chance the Cowboys don't even make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like a real chance.
Yeah.
And I hope it happens. I hate the Cowboys. 619-578-2615. That is the phone number to call. We are here at Warrior Foundation Freedom Station number 2, helping send sick and injured troops home for the holidays. It's one of the best presents you can give this holiday season. So like the guys were saying, if your normal thing is to swing by Starbucks this morning, don't do it.
Right,
Just
right. And
Drink
honestly,
the free crappy coffee at work.
And sending someone home for the holiday is a present of presents.
Okay, there it is.
That's number 3.
He's got 3 laps logged.
But that was really good. Like, they should use that.
TD, Travis Dale running laps when we come back. Actually, when we come back, we're going to get into some of the other news and notes out of the NFL. We just got a huge Thursday morning news dump from the NFL. We're going to sort through it all, and we'll be right back from the Freedom Station here at the Warrior Foundation. That's next. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
We got an early morning dump of info with the NFL. We're going to break it down next.
Thanks, bro.
Mm.
619-578-2615. That's the number to dial. We're here live at Freedom Station number 2, Warrior Foundation. They are doing a tremendous, tremendous thing.
And J-Riff, we need breaking news.
Yeah, we do need the breaking news sounder because they're doing a tremendous thing starting in the 8 o'clock hour. Nope. False start.
What?
We're starting it right now.
Yeah.
A $25,000 match. So every single
There it is.
donation, yeah, every single donation from now until 9 a.m. Okay, you are going to have your donation match. So it's super easy. Actually, I'm going to do it right now myself. Hang on a second.
Time him.
WarriorFoundation.org.
Okay, I'm going to
Whoa,
Warrior.
wow. Oh, wow.
I'm typing it in right now. WarriorFoundation.org. Here we go. .org. Okay. We're going to do this together. And then I'm searching for ways to donate.
And by the way, if you're sitting at the office right now, if you have a bunch of tabs open on Google Chrome, head on over there right now. Do it with the guys. I did it in the 6 o'clock hour. It is the easiest process ever. You just go right here, TD.
Click to
You
donate.
already messed it up.
Click to donate.
Click.
Easy.
There you go.
Okay.
Then autofill that info, baby.
I don't.
I know you
have
got your credit card
autofill.
saved.
Maybe. Oh,
This
wait,
is
what's
awesome. This is very cool.
Yep.
All right. So
Okay, cool.
we're going to do
We're in.
this. We're going to contribute. We're asking all of you to do the same thing, right? So anything you can give at this point is what you want to do. And just understand that every single dollar you donate is going to be doubled. There was an anonymous donor who wants to match up to $25,000 of your donations. It's huge. So that means if we earn $25,000 through your generosity, it turns into $50,000 here all the way until 9 a.m.
So get on the phone right now. It's 619-578-2615, 619-578-2615, or head over to warriorfoundation.org, which the guys are doing as we speak. And are we done?
I am
Done.
I am
Boom.
not.
Submitted. How about
Okay.
that?
This is so cool. Okay, so TD did. So what'd you donate?
I donated $25.
Okay, $25
Yeah.
turns into 50.
Boom.
That's it. You got
There it is.
$50 donated right there. WarriorFoundation.org is where you can go online. I want to talk a couple of NFL storylines that have been sort of dumped on our lap here this morning. Robert Saleh says that he and Zach Wilson are on the same page heading into the Jets next.
The problem is the page is they both think they should sit for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's the same page of the bedtime story he's reading at him. Because Zach Wilson looks like a child on the field.
Look, he did not
Right.
say that Zach Wilson was going to start.
No, what was that soundbite the other day?
Well,
That
it sounded very confusing.
he was asked,
He was asked
is
straight
Zach
on.
Wilson holding onto the ball too long to avoid throwing interceptions? And Saleh said, I mean, I don't think, and then he paused. I don't know how to answer that.
Okay,
Right.
all right. So listen, Robert Saleh, the loyalty has been tested, but this is what he said. No, we're on the same page with that in terms of speculation of him being taken out of the lineup here. He said, so any conspiracy theory that might be out, we're on the same page. So look, there's a lot that's contributed to this narrative. He made an appearance on the Michael Kay show in New York, and he was asked why he wasn't starting Trevor Siemian on Sunday night, or I should say on Sunday against the Raiders. And he said, fair question. I don't know. I'm going to plead the fifth. So that means to a lot of people,
They've thought about it.
well, it means to a lot of people that somebody is getting in the way of him starting who he wants to start at quarterback.
Oh.
And maybe somebody in the front office or in ownership
Straight
wants
up
Zach
to
Wilson.
Woody Johnson.
Yeah, but being on the same page could literally come out as Zach Wilson believes that the best thing for the team is if he sits down. I mean, that could be the same page.
I don't think that's how athletes' brains work.
Well, it may be Zach Wilson's brain.
Yeah, it's going to be very
The dude got sacked 8 times the last game. I would want to sit down as well.
well. I doubt he does, but somebody who wants to go down to the field from the booth is Steve Wilkes, defensive coordinator for the 49ers.
Oh, I don't think he wants to.
Well,
I think Kyle told him he's doing that.
yeah, I'll say this. Tomlin, he had Matt Canada move from the booth to the field. This is the offensive coordinator for the Steelers, right?
Offense looked better.
Offense looked better. So I don't know if Kyle Shanahan saw that directly or if this is an idea he came up with him on his own, independent from what he saw the Steelers do with their offensive coordinator, but he wants Steve Wilkes on the field with the defense.
So I'm going to give big brother Alex Fletcher some credit here because weeks ago, like week 4, week 5 of the NFL season. Like we started seeing, the cracks in the Snyder's team are on the defensive side of the football. Alex Fletcher texted me and was like, hey, why is Steve Wilkes up in the booth and not on the field like Saleh and like D'Amico Ryans were? Because every time you saw a camera shot of Saleh or D'Amico Ryans in the previous years of Kyle Shanahan's tenure, they were firing up guys. They were with Fred Warner. They were going crazy on the sidelines. And Steve Wilkes has just been up in the booth, kind of on his headset, looking bored the whole time. I prefer coordinators to be on the field. Rich, I know I've asked you before. You said it doesn't make all that much of a difference. I think it does.
Well, it doesn't. I said it didn't make a difference in my career. I honestly, whether I was talking to an offensive coordinator directly or if he was in the booth, it didn't matter to me. But at a position like quarterback, maybe having your OC on the sideline can help you out a great deal. And I'm willing to admit that there are certain offensive coordinators who probably should be on the sideline who are in the booth and vice versa. There's one thing that you can say about being in the booth. You get the full 22 player picture from the booth. You don't get that from the field. You can't see anything from the sideline.
I got to tell you, all this Wilkes and Booth talk, I wouldn't want him up in a balcony.
That's a good point. That's a good
You know what
point.
I mean?
Because look what happened.
Yes.
Look what happened.
One lap taken off.
No,
that was a solid joke.
That's not how it works.
No, that was
That's
a
not
solid
how it
joke.
works. That's not how it works.
I got him lap.
No. I feel like I said, this isn't like daylight savings time.
Rich, that was good.
All right, listen. It's good. I mean, honestly, it was pretty good.
Thank you. And for that, you should donate right now.
619-578-2615. TD told his first good joke in like 3 weeks. Come on, light up those phones. Santa's little helpers over there are looking bored. 619-578-2615. Call now to send a wounded or ill warrior home for the holidays.
Yeah, it is a great cause. We're thrilled to be out here at Freedom Station number 2, the Warrior Foundation. You got the number there. warriorfoundation.org is the web address to go to if you want to donate there. Super easy. Travis just did it. TD gave a $25 donation. I'm working on mine right now. On the other side, we continue a match donation hour, okay? So up to $25,000, we have an anonymous donor doubling your donation. So if you give $5, it turns into $10 for the Freedom Station here at Warrior Foundation. If you give $25, it turns into $50. You give $100, it turns into $200. You guys know math. It's simple. Okay.
Rich, what happens if you donate $10,000?
Turns into $20,000.
Boom.
All right, I think that's what I want you to do.
Hey, Ben, I just saw your text from 447. No, I don't need the Starbucks.
Okay.
Yeah, appreciate you offering, though. Okay, coming up next, a lot of
lap
updates.
added back on.
I just saw it.
A lot of updates to pass along in the NFL. But the most important thing to many around San Diego is what's going on with the Padres. And we have an update on Juan Soto. We're going to pass that along on the other side. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
This update is presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports. Week 10 of the NFL season kicks off tonight with a riveting matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the Chicago Bears. I think my voice just cracked. In the NBA last night, the Lakers were smoked by the Rockets 128-94, and the Nuggets edged the Warriors 108-105. Tonight, the Hawks take on the Magic in Mexico City. Aztecs Hoops returns to action tomorrow night when they take on BYU from Provo at 6 o'clock. You'll hear that right here on San Diego Sports 760. Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS because life is more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Yeah! Woo!
Make them say,
Happy Thursday to those who celebrate Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. We're a day away from Bar Car Friday, by the way. We've failed to mention that.
Yes.
But Tony Conja, owner-operator of Keg and Bottle, is going to be joining us in studio.
How many locations?
As he does every single Friday. I believe there's 10 around
locations.
San Diego.
Yeah.
One in Chicago, one in Santa Barbara.
There are many convenient, easy ways to get your liquor, beer, wine fix at Keg and Bottle, including kegandbottle.com. But, guys, we set that aside for a moment, or actually really the entirety of this hour, because we are focused on the Warrior Foundation. Freedom Station number 2 is where we're broadcasting live from. If you've dropped by, we thank you for hanging out. If you've donated already, we thank you double. And in fact, speaking of double, this hour, all donations will be doubled up to $25,000. Okay, so TD just did this on warriorfoundation.org. Super easy. You could sign up for a monthly, a repeating donation. You could do a one-time donation. There's a number to call as well, 619-578-2615. This is a great foundation that supports servicemen and women get home for the holidays, visit with family, send family out to service members who are too injured or ill to make it. They also have transitional programs for folks leaving the military, getting on with their lives, next steps, medical services made available. We just spoke to Anthony, who needed a prosthetic leg purchase for him, a couple of wheelchairs purchased for him. He set his life up. It's really incredible what they've done and what they've offered for so many San Diegans in need. And so any donation amount matters.
Couple shout outs to give here. Patrick Allen, our buddy from Florida, he's donating.
Yes.
Jason from Texas, he's donating.
Yes.
Jamar from right here in San Diego, he's donating. Like Rich just said, doubling up this hour up to $25,000. Why don't we just knock that out with one fell swoop?
Yeah.
One $25,000 donor. That's all we need.
That's all we need.
$25,000 donors.
Yeah.
Or that.
Yeah. Honestly,
come
that's
on.
cool too. Yeah. I mean,
Bring it.
any amount can change a life. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
That's not a joke.
Yeah.
That's not a joke. I mean, yeah, anything that you can donate, it goes a long ways. 90 cents of every dollar donated goes directly back to our Warriors. We are a military town. This means a lot to us. There's a lot of people here that we can help, and they do it here at Warrior Foundation.
619-578-2615, warriorfoundation.org. Both ways are extremely easy to donate. Get on the phone, get on the website right now.
I'm doing it. I'm doing warriorfoundation.org. I've been at it for a while because I'm
What the hell happened to your credit card?
I bent it. It's a long story.
There's a lot happening.
It went through the wash several times because I'm that guy, unfortunately. So, okay, here we go. Submitting. Is it working?
Is Kathy leaving?
Kathy, are
Why
you
are
gone
you
already?
leaving?
Sales lady Kathy, are you out of here?
Sales lady Kathy, did
Oh,
they have
jeez.
burritos?
Okay.
What?
We did it, by the way. Donation sent.
Yes.
Okay, I just sent in $100 to the Warrior Foundation.
And what does
Freedom
that mean?
Station. That means it turns into $200.
Bingo.
Because every single donation this hour is going to be doubled up to $25,000. So there it is. I just got the email.
Boom.
Notification.
So you match Rich, Anonymous matches you. Any guesses on who Anonymous is? I'm saying Bruce Wayne.
I'm going to say Peter Seidler.
Oh, I like
I'm
that.
saying that's the reason why they have to cut down payroll a
Mhm,
little bit
mhm.
because he's donating in a major way to Warrior Foundation.
I would also say potentially Noreen Polito.
It could be.
Ooh,
It
yeah,
could
that's
be.
could be Aaron Ballman. I mean,
Probably.
she only deals with accounts over.
Nope. I know who it is.
Marty Caswell.
$100.
Manny Valencia.
It is.
Manny.
It is.
the man
Manny.
behind all the action here.
On
We
the
thank
ones and
our
twos.
on-site engineer, Manny Valencia, for setting this whole thing up. You did a magnificent job, buddy.
And you just donated $25,000.
Unbelievable.
Congratulations to Manny.
We thank you.
Hey, Rich, when you were in the NFL, what did you use your bye week for?
That's a great question. Usually I was injured. So most of my bye weeks in the NFL, I was trying to nurse like a torn groin or a bad ankle or
I
a
really
bad
thought
back.
you were going to say most of your bye weeks in the NFL, your team was still playing.
Yeah,
Because
well,
every week was a bye week.
we were well, what are we looking at here?
Well, that's now Tyreek Hill's wife,
Okay.
who got
okay.
married
Oh my God.
during the bye week.
Good for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never got married during a bye week.
No?
I know.
Oh.
No, that was never in the cards.
Kita Vaccaro.
There's a lot of guys who'll take trips during the bye week. I was never that guy. I was too nervous to travel. Like I wanted to stay in the city I was playing because I felt like if I leave, I'm like it just sort of unlocks a part of your brain that's like, yeah, now I'm on chill mode, and then you got to get back into work mode. Like the
Right.
season's the season. So I don't know. Guys can handle it. I couldn't.
What's
so
the practice schedule like during bye week?
some of them are terrible. So when you don't have a game to prepare for,
You can hit.
you can hit, and a lot of coaches want to. And a lot of coaches want to get back to training camp style practices where you're out there on the field for a long time, beating the crow out of each other, and it stinks. It stinks so bad. So yeah, I mean, bye weeks, they vary from team to team. And they are helpful, because you can get healthy, but it depends, man, because I've seen injuries happen at practice during bye weeks.
Yeah, a couple years ago we had a torn ACL during a bye week practice. I can't remember who it was, but
Yeah, it happens, and it's a real shame, unfortunately. But yeah, we're getting through bye week time in the NFL. We got Thursday nighter. We'll be getting into that again in a little bit here. Bears hosting the Carolina Panthers. But before we do that, we got to get back to the focus of the day, which has been raising money for the Warrior Foundation. The Freedom Station #2 is where we're at, and we're joined by Josue Baron in person, one of our Warriors live. We got a chance to catch up with you last year, Josue. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Thank you guys for coming back.
Thank you for coming
man.
back,
Yeah.
because
Appreciate it.
every time we get an opportunity to talk to you, it's a lot of fun. And so bring us up to date, right? I mean, not a lot of people who are listening today may have heard the story you told last year, but how has the Warrior Foundation and the Freedom Station changed your life?
So the Warrior Foundation has played a huge role in my recovery and where I'm at now. They've helped me with, obviously I lived at the Freedom Station 1 back in 2011.
Yeah.
And that was a stepping stone to get to where I'm at now. I was able to save money there and move to Temecula and start my family.
Wow.
And now I'm doing paracycling. So I'm racing all over the world, and the Warrior Foundation is still there helping me out with equipment, travel fees, and just being in my corner.
It's awesome.
You were a Marine for a long time. Then you get injured. Talk about your injuries.
So I got injured in 2010. I was assigned to 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines out of Camp Pendleton. And one morning I was on a foot patrol, and me and my engineer stepped on a landmine, and that was it.
Yeah. And you lose your eye or lose sight.
Yeah,
in your eye?
so I lost my left leg and my left thigh.
Okay.
And then my right eye was damaged, and now I got to wear prescription glasses, but with glasses I'm 20/20. So
Awesome.
I'm lucky to have that.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing that stands out, well, obviously you have the Marine logo.
Yeah, I mean, after I lost my eye, they gave me a regular eye, and that eye wasn't moving at all. So it looked so real that I just looked cockeyed.
Oh, right.
Oh,
And-
wow. And
and- So it matched my other eye, but
yeah.
that eye was just locked in, and it
Right.
wouldn't move. And I was just bothered by that, and I was like, nah, like let's get something else in there.
well,
So-
now it looks badass.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
so
Right-
cool.
Do you have the one with the Marine logo on right now?
Yeah, right
Yeah,
now,
oh, yeah,
right now
yeah,
I
I
have
see it.
the.
So we'll post
The
a picture a
EGA.
little later on of the three of
Yeah.
us with you, Josue. But it looks really cool. I mean, did that help getting ladies?
Man, I've been married since before I got injured, so I've been locked up
Yeah.
since then.
That's a damn shame.
Oh,
No, but
No, it's good. It's good to see again. And I remember the story from last year, like that incident when you were doing a foot patrol, right? And
Yeah.
that landmine takes out you and your engineer. I mean, when something that traumatic happens, I mean, what's the mental math you start doing? Like, is it immediately like, how do I get back to being the person I am, or like what, like take us inside of your mind when something like that happens to you?
So I will tell you that the first thing you want is not to live. You know what I mean? Like that's the first thing that comes to your mind. It's
You're
like,
just like, take me now.
yeah, it was like I woke up at the hospital and I was like, man, why am I still alive? Like, how am I gonna live a life with an amputation and blind on one eye? So I think the first thing I asked was, how come that IED didn't kill me then?
Right.
Because I wasn't gonna kill myself, but I was upset that it didn't take me that at that moment. And after a while, you start getting signs and you realize this is why I'm still alive. You know, this is um, why God kept me alive, and you know, I started having kids. I went from 1 to 4, so now I have a house full of 4 boys, a family, and then you realize this is why I gotta live. You know.
That strength that you have, that you
Yeah.
possess, that you've been able to foster is going to be passed on to those kids. And in large part, there's no mistaking this. The Warrior Foundation had helped you through that dark time and got you to where you are now.
Yeah, I mean, if foundations like this wouldn't be here, I think it would have took us a long time to get to where we're at.
Wow.
You know, so if it wasn't for them, a lot of guys will still be waiting on the VA to try to help. Eventually, they'll get there, but it'll take years.
619-578-2615. That's the number to call right now. 619-578-2615. You could go to warriorfoundation.org to donate now, like myself, Travis, and Fletch already have. Again, Josue, his story.
And everything is doubled right now.
Yeah.
So any donation that comes through the doors right now will be doubled. 619-578-2615 is the number to call.
Hundreds and hundreds of service members like Josue have been helped by the Warrior Foundation. So if you have any room in your budget, anything you give, I mean, your story, I mean, I'm choked up. TD, could you?
No, absolutely. We were speaking with Anthony last hour. He's part of the wheelchair basketball team here, the Wolfpack. You were one of the founding members, right, Josue?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have wheelchair basketball when I got here, and during that time, we had over 200 amputees at the hospital.
Wow.
And a lot of the guys were looking for something to do and just trying to get some confidence back. And we found wheelchair basketball at the gym there, but we had no equipment, we had no funding, we had no direction. And one day I reached out to Sandy and the Warrior Foundation and I asked if they could help us with wheelchairs. And adaptive equipment is very expensive. So she helped us buy the chairs, and then the program's been on ever since.
How much
the
does
team's still running.
How much does a wheelchair cost?
So a wheelchair is probably about $6,000.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're expensive because they don't mass produce them. You know, they are accustomed to your disability, and every person in the team has a different disability. So you can't share a chair with the other person.
Right. How much does that do for you mentally when you get gifted a chair like that can, I mean, change your life? It makes you an athlete again.
Yeah, I mean, you feel like you're back in the system. You feel like you're back. You know, you're a person again.
Yeah.
Because for somebody like me, I can't run, so just getting on that wheelchair and going fast, it just felt like I was running.
Yeah.
And it motivates you. It motivates you to get back on your to get back and do something with yourself.
And now you've gone from not just wheelchair basketball, but cycling.
Yeah. And then once again, those bikes are expensive too.
Yeah.
Like you go from a wheelchair that's $6,000, $5,000 to a bike that's $10,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Josue, we asked Anthony this a little earlier, and I'll ask you the same question again. The number to call is 619-578-2615 if you're inspired by Josue's story or anything from our day out here at the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station 2. But where are you right now without them? We heard you say you have 4 kids. You're moved up to Temecula. Where are you without the Freedom Station?
I mean, I got a family now, a big family now, and I'm just in a better place now than I was a couple years ago. I'm looking forward to the future. I have goals, and I know I can always count on the Warrior Foundation. So I'm a full-time paracyclist. I train Monday through Saturday, and I race all over the world. And I'm a full-time father.
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
My youngest is 8, and the oldest is my youngest is 8 months, and the oldest is 8 years.
Oh
8
my
years.
gosh.
So-
Oh,
So
so
from
you're
8
not
months to
sleeping.
8 years.
Oh my
You're
god.
busy.
No, I mean, finally I'm sleeping, but
Right.
and they're all boys.
Does
Yeah, all boys.
All
Yeah.
boys.
Do your kids ever talk about wanting to be a Marine?
Not yet. I think they're getting there because I'm getting involved in their schools, and like for Veterans Day, Memorial Day, I go to their school and they kind of see what everything's all about. So I don't want to push them into the military, but I know eventually they'll probably want to join,
Yeah.
just based on everything that they see, and it's up to them at the end of the day. Once they get a little older,
Yeah.
they want to join and serve their country.
No greater usage of your life than to protect this country, and we appreciate your service. I don't know, your bravery, it's indescribable, and what you've sacrificed for this country. The only thing we can do is thank you.
Yeah.
And also donate, right? 619-578-2615. That's the number to call. warriorfoundation.org. Again, all the help that Josue was describing, also transitional housing, like Josue got to be involved with when he left the military. Dana was talking about that as well. Anthony with the equipment that he was offered and the guidance, getting his life restarted after his service in the military. warriorfoundation.org. Every single donation that you send in will be doubled this hour. Josue, we thank you for your time.
Yeah.
We thank you for your service. Thanks
Thank you,
again for
guys.
dropping by, man.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you.
Yeah, you
Thank
bet.
Love it. Man, Josue, a bit of a superstar here at the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station. In fact, literally, if you Google Josue Barone, he comes up everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Oh, no,
everywhere.
he's a big deal.
He's a big deal.
He's a big,
He's
like
a
he
big
said,
deal.
He's one of the best cyclists in the world, paracyclist. And again, wouldn't be able to do it if it weren't for the Warrior Foundation. So again, that number, 619-578-2615, 619-578-2615. If you'd like to donate, we'd sure be glad if you did, right? Because it's doubled up until 9 a.m. You only have until 9 a.m. That is about 40 minutes left to have your donation doubled. So if you've been stalling, if you've been waiting, if you've been busy, and you have 40 seconds, that is all it took. TD and Fletch, it took me about 7 minutes because I could barely read my credit card. It's been through the wash so many times. But
that's a Rich problem.
That is a me problem.
Yeah.
That's not a you problem. We're really excited to be here, and it's been a ton of fun meeting Anthony for the first time, talking to Dana again. We got an opportunity last year, and again, catching up with Josue. So back to Thursday Night Football we go. We have the Bears hosting the Carolina Panthers, the battle of Bryce Young and Tyson Bagent.
They have 3 combined wins between these two teams.
Right. Not a great win-loss record matchup, but is there any intrigue when I say the names Bryce Young and Tyson Bagent?
So Bryce Young, the Carolina Panthers, and correct me if I'm wrong.
So pumped right
This
now.
this is the first primetime game the Panthers have had this year.
Yeah, that's correct.
So this is the majority of the country's first time watching the number 1 overall pick in the draft
Correct.
play tonight. And that's
Correct.
enough to get me to a TV, if I'm being completely honest, because I feel like I haven't given the Carolina Panthers enough to, because I'm a red zone guy. I watch red zone, and they don't spend much time on teams that are getting their asses kicked. So I haven't seen a whole lot of Carolina Panthers this season. I'm excited to watch him. Hopefully it's a game. But even if it isn't a game, I'm excited for Al Michaels and Salty Al Michaels.
I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna see, and I'm curious if this is enough to intrigue you. So Bryce Young, in my opinion, is a very talented quarterback. His problem is he is offered zero protection.
And he's a little guy.
He's a small
Yep.
guy. He's diminutive in stature. There's no question. And he has a hard time getting anything accomplished because this team, I mean, they're just not built to win right now.
Well, and
They
think
aren't.
about the rookies that we've seen at the quarterback position this year. I mean, CJ Stroud, he's going to be rookie of the year. He's been incredible.
Yes.
Will Levis comes off the bench, first game out, 4 touchdown passes and over 300 passing yards. So it's
which all of a sudden, Will Levis,
he's the starter.
Well, yeah, and if he plays like that the rest of the season, rookie of the year goes there.
CJ Stroud feels like he has it locked up to me. You might be right, Travis. But when you look at Bryce Young, it's been so unimpressive. And we say fit is everything, but it's not like Levis and Stroud have been put into situations that are perfect fits either.
No, you make a lot of good sense there. Look, if CJ Stroud serves as a reminder, it's the fact that the scenario and the environment around a quarterback don't need to be perfect. I
Yep.
think we spend a lot of time making excuses for special talents from college football having their entrance in the NFL and saying, it takes time, it's not an easy sport. But you know what? There is something that happens with a Herbert, right?
Yep.
Where he comes out on the football field and he's foisted into action because the starter gets injured pregame with an injection.
And we saw that offense from Tyrod Taylor for 4 or 5 weeks, and then we saw it with Justin Herbert. It's different.
Yeah, so that's years ago, but he's a rookie, and you're like, oh, that works. That just works. He looks like he belongs. The same thing with C.J. Stroud this year. We've seen it before with Andrew Luck. We've seen it before with a lot of rookie quarterbacks who've become sensations in the NFL. And it just works sometimes. And you know what? Honestly, sometimes it just doesn't.
That is also correct. Yeah,
Bryce Young.
sometimes it just does not work. And I mean, look, there are certain people who are just talented. I mean, they're just talented. And you go out there and they make it look right. And as Fletch points at me, that's where I was heading here.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
And I
do have
just
the
like
best
Travis
headset.
Dale.
he was like, and I'm one of them.
Right. So listen, in honor of me, I'd love for you to donate right now. 619-578-2615 or warriorfoundation.org. We are broadcasting live all day long here. Well, yeah, close to all day.
I would
long,
like
I
to
guess, from the Warrior Foundation Freedom
challenge
Station.
our listeners to beat Rich's donation of $100 because every single donation during this hour will be doubled up to $25,000. So Rich donated $100. Who out there is going to donate $200?
There you go.
That's automatically going to turn into $400. So get on the phone right now, 619-578-2615.
And by the way, like you just said, you point out, I gave $100, that turns into 200 because every donation is doubled. Somebody gives $200, it's doubled to 400. $600. That's what you'd earn right there. $600 sends a service member home
Yep.
for the holidays. That's all it costs.
And
That's
if
plane fare and housing and everything.
And if you donated $600 right now, you'd be sending 2 Warriors.
That is
home for
a
the holidays.
buy one, get one.
Yeah,
That is
BOGO
a
sale.
BOGO,
Boom.
baby.
All right. We are live from the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station, and we're damn glad to be here. There is 36 minutes left to make your donation and have it doubled. So if you've been stalling on it, please do so right now. Coming up on the other side, we got to get back into the Padres. So Scott Boras, super agent, he spoke up about his client, Juan Soto, and his future with the Padres. You're going to want to hear this. That's next.
to. That's me. I was meant to be a Raider.
I love it.
Yeah.
This update is presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports. Week 10 of the NFL season kicks off tonight with a riveting matchup between the Carolina Panthers and Chicago Bears in the Gambler agent eligibility restrictions apply. Void or prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Big Red Seating Fletcher, San Diego Sports 760, and we are doing the thing. And the thing is the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station Giveathon. You heard Big Voice say it there, but call right now, 619-578-2615, or go to warriorfoundation.org to donate anything you can. Anything you can donate will go a long, long ways. And we're trying to send our Warriors home for the holidays. Go meet up with the family.
Yeah. 619-578 2615. That's the number to call. warriorfoundation.org. So far on the air on this show, we have cumulatively donated $150.
That's correct.
Okay. My and Travis's donation, because we waited till the final hour of the show, have been doubled. So that's $250.
Boom.
Add the 25. So $275 committed from Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
I feel like I need to do more now because
No,
I
no,
didn't wait till it was doubled.
Listen, okay,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I guess you could give a little bit more. Look, everybody should feel that way, right? This is a great cause.
I got more to give.
Transitional housing for troops coming home. Guidance from people who have been there before. A lot of, you know what you're finding out as you talk to more people here? A lot of the military members who have come to the Freedom Station here, they start to volunteer here. And they help others who are passing through the housing here get on their feet. seek out work and maybe some sport that they want to get back to, whether they were a basketball player prior to their injury and they want to get back into sports. We talked to Anthony, wheelchair basketball. We talked to Josue Barron, wheelchair basketball. That's now turned into cycling. He's one of the best Paralympic cyclists in the world now. These are the gateways to having freedom again for a lot of these people.
I mean,
having their purpose back in life.
And they talk about that of the people who come through here at the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station, and all of a sudden now they're donating their time here, they're giving back, and that's a testament to our troops.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
great people.
It is, yeah, it's that type of person that they go in to protect our country. They get injured, they can no longer go back and serve, so they come back here and start serving others.
And what have we heard from all three of our guests today, from Dana, from Anthony, and from Josue? Before they found the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station, they were in a really bad spot.
Yep.
Josue talking about the fact that he didn't want to live anymore. Like, it's heart-wrenching stories like that. And then they find Sandy Lemcooler. They find the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station and the community that it builds. And right now we're talking about the holiday season and sending troops home for the holidays. But this is a year-round thing. And it's a year-round struggle for a lot of our wounded warriors and a lot of our veterans. And Sandy Lemcooler and the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station make that a little bit easier.
Yep. I was talking with Junior, another individual here who was at Warrior Foundation, making that transition from military life to civilian life. And as I was talking to him, he was talking about his struggles he had with suicide. He was not in the right headspace and was very nearly at the end of his life, and they saved him.
Anthony put it perfectly earlier when we talked to one of our in-person warriors, when he said, look, I took one step toward the Warrior Foundation and they took 2 steps towards me. So if you help, if you donate today, 619-578-2615, warriorfoundation.org, you can make your donation. It takes 40 seconds, less than a minute of your time. And even if it's just $5, any amount is doubled this hour up until 9 o'clock. You have 25 minutes to do so. So if you've been stalling on it, if you're hearing about it for the first time today, warriorfoundation.org or 619-578-2615. They're going to take 2 steps towards our injured and displaced veterans, people who need our help, who should have our help,
and people who need their families.
Yeah.
The holiday season, it's so important to spend time with your family. And like Anthony was saying, he was like, my family's on the other side of the country.
Yep.
I had no way of getting home to them, and they sent me home 2 years in a row.
Yeah. So this is an awesome way to give back during the holiday season. So please help. warriorfoundation.org.
What did you say, TD? The presents?
The presence is the present.
Okay.
Or you're giving a present of presents? Yeah, that's what I said.
Listen, we're gonna.
Your presence is a gift
because he said it better the first time. Also, I want to get back to this tape. So Scott Boras, super agent, right? He's the guy who represents like all of the big names in Major League Baseball.
He's a very punny individual as well.
Yeah, he loves his puns.
Drops bars.
I love it.
He's very intolerable, if you ask me.
He's a very rich man, and he's rich because he has represented some of the best athletes in Major League Baseball, made them a ton of money. So ipso facto, he's made a ton of money.
What do agents get?
It depends. In the NFL, standard representation agreement is usually 3%, but 3% on $100 million contract, do the quick math, $3 million,
which Boras has a lot of those, multiple hundreds of $1 million.
Now that's in the NFL. I don't know if the rules are different in Major League Baseball. Maybe he can charge a higher percentage. So
if he became our agent and he got us $50 million,
yep.
I mean,
he could have all.
He could have 50%.
Yeah, that's a good point. We would give half. So if you're listening, Scotty Too Hottie, we need you. Okay, look, here's the deal. Scott Boras represents Juan Soto.
Holy smokes.
He's a Padre for now. But is he going to be a Padre in the future? Well, we have a little bit of an update. J-Riff, if you could, here's Scott Boras from the GM meetings. And then we're going to find out why Fletch is saying, holy smokes, in just a moment.
Where Juan Soto stands with the Padres right now.
Met with the Padres. They laid out their plan for next year, which obviously included, a lineup that definitely includes Juan Soto. He's their 900 OPS player, and they're obviously looking for more left-handed bat.
Yeah. Listen, if the Padres are going to be aggressive in seeking out winning this season, Juan Soto keeping your best bat on the team does make sense. So will he or won't he end up a Padre? We'll get into that. But first, Fletch, what did you find that gave you that reaction?
Actually, it gave me heart palpitations is what it gave me. This is from last year, November of 2022. This article was written in Forbes. It should be no surprise that Boris ranks as the most powerful agent in North American team sports with $3.83 billion in active playing contracts under management. That number has gone up since then, yielding up to $191 million in commissions based on the maximum 5% fee that MLB agents are allowed to charge.
So there you go.
Look, my God.
It's a good business if you're good at the business, and Scott Boras is good at this business.
So now what we can say about the Juan Soto thing is Bob Melvin was also said to be with the Padres in this season. A.J. Preller said those exact words.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that the Padres sat down and told Scott Boras with a surety that Juan Soto is a part of the future plan. And do you want to know why the Padres would do that? It's very simple. How do you drive the price up of anything in this world? Scarcity.
Yep.
Supply
and demand.
The only way to increase Juan Soto's price tag is if you make him unattainable. So what that says to anybody who's looking for a great left-handed bat who's interested in trading with the Padres, they're going to have to force the Padres now to unhand Juan Soto with a huge deal. The Padres are playing chess here. They're trying to get everybody out there thinking that Juan Soto is untouchable. So whatever they're willing to offer the Padres for Juan Soto, well, that price tag just went up.
Yeah, and by the way, when his agent's coming out, releasing the stats, that's on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just let everybody,
let everyone reminder. Juan Soto has a 900 OPS. He's really good at baseball.
And by the way, Scott Boras understands this move. So the Padres may have sat down with Scott Boras and said this, hey, listen, Scott, obviously we're looking to trade Juan Soto, but what we want you to do is we want you to get out there, put together a sound clip, just say we're not moving him, talk about how good he is. This way, the Yankees all of a sudden offer us the moon for him. And by the way, pay your client like we're not planning to right now. This way, he has a contract you can collect on instead of these arbitration numbers.
2 years ago, Max Scherzer was going to be a Padre, according to Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic. And if you remember, who's Max Scherzer's agent? Scott Boras.
Yep.
So Scott Boras knows how to play ball. I think that's exactly what the Padres are doing here. They want to make some of their contracts on their team a little bit better. And the one way to do that is to attach somebody to Juan Soto, or they want to rebuild this farm system. Or, by the way, how many starting pitchers do the Padres have right now?
The Padres have 2 starting pitchers left on their roster.
And both of them finished last year injured.
Is that enough?
That is not. No, it actually isn't.
Wait. Hang on a second. Can Soto pitch? If he can, there's a chance he remains a Padre.
We are looking for left-handed pitchers.
Well, literally, do the math here. They're going to have to give some of their available income to starting pitchers going into next season. They have to. There's no option there. Well, $33 million or $34 million could probably round out your rotation.
Yeah,
it'd help.
It would certainly go a long way. Just like any donation you can make today, 619-578-2615, warriorfoundation.org. We're live from the Freedom Station today all the way up until 9 a.m., which is, let's see, you have exactly
18 minutes.
18 minutes left. If you donate right now and help our troops, you are going to have your donation doubled. So $5 turns into 10, 25 turns into 50, 50 turns into 100, shoot, 1,000 turns into $2,000. You can send a service member home to spend time with his or her family for the holidays, which is $600. That's all it takes to reunite one of our injured or ill service members with their family, whether it's sending them home or sending the family out to spend time with them. The holiday season, there's no better gift you could give. Okay,
well, think about that 600 number right now. If you donate 600 right now, you're changing 2 different people's lives.
Yep.
And really, when you branch off of that, you're also changing the lives of their families.
We just heard stories from Dana and Anthony and Josue that are heart-wrenching. But on the other side of that heart-wrenching, just kind of desperate tale, there's this revival in all 3 of them. And it all started here at the Freedom Station. So whatever you can donate, I'm sure that they would love to have it and they can help the troops and further the cause here. Okay, coming up, we wrap up our time here at the Freedom Station. And I know I know when
What?
TD puts things on the rundown. So we have a little live document that we all add to, and every single day there is something on the rundown where I go, there's no other human being who could have found this story.
Science.
You know what?
It's science.
Preemptive lap. I want him
it's
to actually
science.
take his laps.
It's science.
So I don't even want to read the headline.
No.
Okay, we'll talk about it next, and Travis needs to take a lap. That's next. We're live from the Freedom Station, #2 Warrior Foundation. Nobody would understand what I was doing.
Well,
if
no,
we just started jumping in.
special guest actually joining the show right now, Patrick Mahomes, who has outed himself as anonymous with the $25,000 match.
Right.
Patrick, tell me why you're feeling so generous this morning.
I'm feeling pretty generous because just in general, just want to reach out and just thank all of our service members, men and women, brave people who protect this country every day. And I know I sound like Kermit the Frog with a smoking habit, but $25,000 is the very least I could do. And just as long as everybody donates, I'm going to match up to that $25,000. But you only have 10 more minutes to do it.
619-578-2615. Patrick, thank you for your time.
So
we appreciate it.
they have these brown paper bags over here that I don't know what they're for, but I want to think there's a bologna sandwich in them.
Dude,
And
yeah.
that makes me want one
Every
real
time I
bad.
see a brown paper bag, I think Hi-C Ecto Cooler.
Oh my God.
Uncrustables.
I think well, for me, but that was before our time in elementary school. I'm 37, so we were still very much so on the bologna sandwich with the crust peeled off.
Bologna sandwich, a kudos bar, which was a granola bar covered in chocolate.
Yeah.
And an Ecto Cooler or Capri Sun.
Yeah,
and then it'd always be like every third day, be like, oh man, there's no straw on this one.
Every once in a while, a Dunkaroo pack would find its way in there.
Oh my gosh,
a little
a
graham cracker
Dunkaroo?
with the vanilla frosting.
So we are
Talk to
out
me
at
about
the
that.
Warrior
I'm gonna squeeze
Foundation
it.
Freedom Station #2, 619-578-2615. Every donation for the next 5 or 9 minutes will be doubled up to $25,000. So get in there right now, donate. Travis put a link in the rundown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's out in New Zealand.
Listen,
Science.
Can we have a real conversation real quick?
Yeah.
Does this fit the tone of today's show whatsoever?
Well, hang on. I'm going to let him land this. I'm going to let him land this one. But the headline that we get to read this morning on our rundown to close out the show, helicopters are making crocodiles horny. Here's why. And so we just some of these things we gloss over, but some of them we leave in, and we just asked TD to explain how and why it got on the rundown.
Okay, so we are here at the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station.
619-578-2615.
Right. You can go to warriorfoundation.org. We're trying to send our men and women, our service members, our troops home for the holidays.
Yeah.
And some of our troops out in New Zealand, stationed at a military base, are flying Chinook helicopters over some swamplands.
Yeah.
And the sound of the Chinook helicopters sound like thunder to the crocodiles, and the thunder makes the crocodiles a little randy.
Okay. So
there you go. It's all tied in.
Hang on a
It
second.
all makes sense.
Hang on a second. Let me ask this question.
Yep.
And I don't know if I want the answer to it, but I'm assuming the people who found this out were scientists, right?
I guess.
Or
I don't know.
Or people
maybe spectators
work in nature. My point is this: like, how do you know when a crocodile's horny? Like,
I think
what are the signs? Like,
I think as the Chinook helicopters fly over, there's just a bunch of crocodiles, like, getting it on.
Oh,
yeah.
That'll do it for us today, guys. Great show.
With that, we'd like you to donate.
So just a lot of croc banging each other.
619-578-2615. Keep it locked on San Diego Sports 760 all day long. Darren Smith will be here as well. John and Jim will have interviews later on today. But 619-578-2615. You still got a few minutes for your donation to be doubled. Rich donated $100. That turned into $200. So if you can do the same, reach into your pockets a little deeper this morning and send some wounded troops home for the holidays. That's what it's all about here. Thank you to Sandy Lemcooler for having us out.
Yeah.
Thank you to Anthony. Thank you to Dana. Thank you to Josue for swinging by our tent and chatting with us this morning. Really heartfelt messages. Thank you guys. Thanks to all the texters. Thanks to all the donators.
Yeah, all our listeners, everyone who's donating here, it goes a long ways. We really, really appreciate you.
He just said it in our ear. Thank you, Jonathan.
Yes, thank you, Jonathan Rifkin, for engineering down the line. On-site engineer Manny Valencia.
Woo!
How about Bill Leonard, who used to work with
gosh.
iHeart San Diego, now works with the Warrior Foundation full-time.
And all the volunteers here.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, man on the phone. So
Santa's helpers, thank
every
you.
phone is on an ear. That's fantastic.
And no thanks to Rock 105.3.
No,
they
terrible.
are still jerks, and we hate them.
Yep,
including
sitting there by the fire.
But most importantly, that Eddie Papani, screw that guy.
I'm going to give them the salute right now.
Yeah, do
There
it.
it is.
Oh, we did it.
That's the middle one. Anyways, the Herd's next on 760. We'll be back tomorrow for a Bar Car Friday brought to you by Keg and Bottle.
Yeah. See you guys.